Good news, believe it or not, when it comes to global warming, when it comes to our forests. Now, you may say, well, how can that be good news? Well, one of the things that they are saying is, as scientists, they're saying that the trees in British Columbia are growing faster because of climate change. Werner Kurtz is a senior research scientist at Natural Resources Canada. He's head of the PICS Forest Carbon Management Project, which investigates how forests can contribute to slowing global warming as well as adapt to climate change. Let's get some update on this story as we talk to Mr. Kurtz. He's joining us today.
Thank you, Terry, for the opportunity to speak to you and your listeners.
You're a senior research scientist at Natural Resources Canada, and you're head of the PICS Forest Carbon Management Project.
What this new study is finding is that with climate change, it turns out that all of the other trees in British Columbia collectively are removing carbon dioxide faster, and they're helping offset some of these losses that are caused in specific areas by the mountain pine beetle. Even in the areas where the mountain pine beetle has been effective, some of the trees that are left behind by the beetle, that are non-pine species, for example, are responding positively to climate change and seem to show signs of growing faster.
You know, what do you say to the people who are listening to you right now and saying, come on, carbon dioxide release has been around for decades and centuries, and this is no big deal?
Well, they are right in the sense that these processes have been around for millennia. Now, the good news is oceans and forests are continuing to take up some of that carbon dioxide. In fact, half of the global fossil fuel emissions that are burned by humans are taken up by oceans and forests.
Listen, let me take a couple of calls here, and then we'll get into some other discussion on this as well. Let me get to Josh. And Josh, you're on CFAX1070. Go ahead, please, to Werner Kurtz.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I love this, the fact that carbon dioxide makes forests grow more. I love it. You guys should bring Dr. Tim Ball on because you're just confirming everything that he says. The world is not ending. CO2 is not going to kill us all. And this is awesome. This is great news. Finally, we can scrap the carbon tax and we can stop worrying about carbon dioxide. Is that what you guys are saying here?
Well, wouldn't that be lovely? Unfortunately, no. None of what we have said says that you should, in fact, stop reducing fossil fuel emissions. In fact, what the Paris Agreement of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change said is that globally, governments commit to reducing global warming to 2 degrees. In order to achieve 2 degrees, what we need to do globally is, by the end of the century, have forests and oceans and man-made systems remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere more quickly than we're adding to it. We have to have net negative emissions. There is no way that forests alone can achieve that goal without also reducing fossil fuel emissions. So what we need to do is hold the course on issues like carbon tax and really aggressive ways of dealing with decarbonization of our economies around